And as a whole, eventually, the values that a people have shape society. I want you to look at this next picture. And we can see how easy it is. So why do we have all this junk that's going on? Because us, that's the trash can on the bottom, we're feeding each other crappy fruit. We're feeding each other moldy fruit, values that, hey, have sex whenever you want. It's just nothing. It's not that big of a deal. Or you can cheat here, or, you don't have to, laziness is all right. You can, step over somebody to make something better in your life. All those types of values that have kind of been pushed on us, right? That's crappy fruit. And what does that produce? That makes a difference in people, right? So you got anger, you get divorce, depression, teenage pregnancies, little kids having little kids, and, not even knowing what they're doing. They're not ready for that. Not ready for that responsibility. You got drug addiction, hopelessness, violence, abortion. All of those issues that we have now are all a result of us passing out junky fruit. Lack of values. Fruit's gone bad. But what we're talking about is God restoring us, restoring that good fruit, because we need more people out there producing good fruit in their lives. We need that because these people, that just on these pictures, these people need somebody to pass them some good fruit, pass them values that are going to help them and not bring them down like this. Next slide, please. Ronald Reagan, he knew this. Funny, you just mentioned Ronald Reagan earlier. He knew this also. And here, this one speech in 1984, he said, "Without God, there is no virtue, no values, because there is no prompting of the conscience. Without God, there is a worsening of society. Without God, democracy will not and cannot long endure. If we forget that we are one nation under God, then we will be a nation gone under." That's big time. And you can see, it was like, wow, it makes total sense now, being almost 30 years later. Look where we are, right? Look where we are. Next slide, please. Okay, and now here, not to be political or anything, but I was curious. I'm like, I wonder how many people thought that they always do these polls. Like, are we on the right track as a country? Right before Bush left, it was 82% of the Americans polled said, no, we're not on the right track. We're not on the right track. And so now, with a new president, it's 72. A little better, but what? That's the majority. This kind of shows you that it's not a left-right thing, right? It's not a Republican-Democrat thing. It's not a government thing. Like, the problem is still there. Because if it was a government thing, then if it would have switched over, everything would have been great, right? Because it was completely different parties. But it's not that. It's not, we need to pray for our president. We need to pray for Obama, regardless if you voted for him or not. Because God can use him, right? God can use him. But the issue isn't here. The issue is here. It's not a top-down issue. It's an inside-out issue. Kind of like the song we were singing earlier, "Change me from the inside out." That's the solution. God being restored in our hearts more and more and making a difference, and you helping somebody else out be restored to God inside, from the inside out. And we make that change that, it's not going to come top-down like that. It has to come from inside out everywhere, from the top and the bottom and everything. God can put us back on track because everybody feels it. And I'm like, something just don't feel right. Something don't feel right. So here are 7 values. There's so many that the Bible has. Talked about all the verses and love and Galatians and fruit. I try to find 7 that try to encompass all of them. So here's a few of them. So 7 values that we should have in our lives. Honor. Have that sense of honor, being proud to be a mom and be a dad. There's so many people that just they don't want to be moms and dads, and they have kids and they don't have that respect, that honor for that title. Having honor for being a son of God, a daughter of God. Honor, integrity, being honest, doing the right thing, not just because you have to, not because they're going to pay you, but doing the right thing because you know it's the right thing to be done. Integrity. How many people do you know that really are like that? Hey, that's not a real sexy word anymore. All right, thankfulness, being thankful for what you have. If you have a lot, then be thankful that you got a lot and do something with that lot and help somebody else that doesn't have that much. Or if you don't got that much, don't be jealous of the guy that has more. Be thankful for what you have because God takes care of you. God can take care of you. So thankfulness, compassion, being gentle to people, not harsh, right? Being kind to one another. Having a compassion, like when I hear compassion, I think of your heart should break for somebody. When you see somebody that's going through an issue, going through they lost their job, you should have compassion on them. Like, and I want to help you out. Let me help you out for a little bit. Here, let me cover your water bill for the month or something like that. Right? Having a sense of responsibility, that value of responsibility. You know, that there are consequences to your actions. And so be careful on how you treat your job and how you treat everything. Right? There's responsibility there with your actions. Faithfulness, being faithful to God's way, being faithful to your wife or husband, being faithful to the rules that they set up at your job, you know, being faithful. And then charity, just being able to give. You know, give advice if you have it. Give time if you have it to help somebody else. You know, if you have money, then give them money. And it doesn't have to be just about money. If you got stuff that's just hanging around your house that you know you ain't using, sell it and give that money to somebody else, or just give that thing to somebody else, you know? And so having that sense of charity, we're all taking care of each other. You know, the Bible talks about a giver God takes care of. So be generous when you give, because I'll take care of you. The stingy ones go broke. That's what God says. The stingy in the Bible, the stingy ones go broke. So don't hold that in, especially love. When God has given you so much love, be charitable with that. Be generous with that love. Love somebody else, because people need that. You never know. So these are 7 values that I try to kind of reduce to try to make it easier to remember. These 7 values. Next slide, please. So talking about in American Renewal, restoring God, we need all these things in our life. We need all these things. You know, the last 3 weeks I've kind of been laying out what our mission and purpose and vision for us as a church is. You know, not us as an institution, but us as a people. You know, being able to live that out. And how are we going to restore God? Well, an easy way to sum up our mission, purpose, and vision is in the next slide. Here's how we want to do. It's a lifestyle we want to be. Church is not a building. Church is people. Church is us. And it matters. Our lifestyles matter. But we want to have 2 duties. Love God, love others. 4 priorities. God number 1. Family second. Community third. The world fourth. And then be rooted in values and being a people that produces that type of fruit of honor, integrity, thankfulness, compassion, responsibility, faithfulness, and charity. Here's how we want to live it. Next slide, please. We want to live our life and live the truth 24/7. It's a lifestyle. It's all the time. Not on a Sunday, and then Monday we're different, right? We want to be able to have a people that lives the truth of God out in their life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because it is who you are. You can't help but live like that because of the relationship we have with God, and he has made such an impact in you. Living the truth out 24/7. Now notice what's in the middle. The middle is a cross. God has to be the center. Jesus is the center of everything, that who we are and what we can be. That relationship that we have with God was made possible by the cross, by Jesus coming down, dying on that cross, and shedding his blood for us to make a way to restore the relationship that we should have had since the beginning, how it was all intended to be. He has to be the middle. Know that the blood of Jesus and what he's done for you can love you past your issues, past your problems, past maybe the bad fruit that you have in your life. He sees past all that, and he sees you, somebody he made and created and took time in creating. With everybody's heads bowed and eyes closed, I just want to encourage, if you don't have that relationship with God, it could be today. Don't go another day trying to be a branch on the ground, trying to produce good fruit by yourself, because you can do nothing without God. Can't earn our salvation just trying to be a good person. That's you. If that's you and you want to say, Lord, I need you, take the time now and just say, God, I need you. I need you. Make me new. Come inside my heart. Forgive me of my sins and who I am. Make me new, Lord. Make me different. Forgive me. If that's you, if you want to be that person, if you want to, if you said those prayers still with everybody's eyes closed, I encourage you to just us. You can just raise your hand and say, that's me, I need that. Let God see it. That's me, I need it. I need him, or I did that prayer. I said those words. God's not far off. He's close and he's listening. He sees you. He's calling us all to him.